Oh, perfect. It's recording now. Thank you so much.
Of course. So thank you everyone for joining us virtually, or for those who might be watching this later. I wanted to take a moment to do some introductions for some of the staff and student leaders in the room. So first off, my name is Amy Love, or Dean Love. I'm an assistant dean in the Office of the Dean of Students, and my role is student support. I also am an advisor for a student initiative run through the Dean of Students office called the Peers. And they do programming and education around topics such as sexual violence prevention, healthy relationships, alcohol and drug education. So a lot of really important topics, but they make it really engaging and intentional. So that's a little bit about my role. I'm going to hand it off to Jean Zeich to introduce herself next.
Hi guys, so my name is Heidi Zeich, and I work with Amy in the Dean of Students office. I have been, this is my 5th year starting in this position, and before that I was the Director of Housing for 10 years, so I've been here a little while. I work with Amy on Dean of Students things that we'll talk about in a minute, but I also manage student conduct and ethical development. It's not an area of the university where everyone gets involved in, but it is one of those areas where I get to engage with students on different topics. In addition to following up on any behavioral issues, we also do a lot of fun, proactive programming. So we coordinate with some of the other staff on this call or throughout the university on doing other things with that. And then I am gonna throw the virtual ball over to Javier.
Hey everybody, my name is Javier Bustamante. I am the director of the Center for Cultural Engagement here at the university. So I am also the advisor for a number of our cultural orgs on campus, like Black Student Alliance, the Student Organization of Latinos, and Focus, which is a Filipino organization, and many others on campus. And so I'm very excited to be here with all of you and to welcome you to Catholic University. I see some familiar faces from Take Flight from yesterday's session, so I'm very excited, to see you once again and to be able to share about some of the great opportunities that we have for you here as students on campus. Should I send it to our
Yep, this is some of the returning students or the OAs.
I can go.
Go for it.
Hi guys, my name is Lauren. I'm a senior nursing major here at Catholic. This is my 3rd year being an orientation advisor. So unfortunately, and I don't think anyone on this call is my orientee, but you definitely have 2 that you will be meeting with shortly after this meeting.
Hi guys, my name is Beverly. Oh, somebody talking.
Go ahead.
My name is Beverly Torsius. I am a junior psych and brain sciences major on the pre-vet track. I'm also part of Peers, which you'll learn a lot about very soon. There's like a lot of good information. So yeah, I'm really excited that all of you guys are here.
And you're a current commuter student, correct?
I am a commuter student, yep.
Hi guys, my name is Riley. I am a sophomore nursing major this year. And what else did I want to say? I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm from Southmore, Pennsylvania, and this is my first. So I'm very excited for myself and for all.
Great.
I'll go. I'm a sophomore. I'm a commuter from DC. I guess I should have said my name first. My name is Brian Melendez.
Great. Thanks, Brian. And Emily?
I'm Victoria. I'm from Virginia. I'm an architecture student.
Okay.
Sophomore.
Great.
Hi, my name is Emily Vasquez, and I am a commuter student from Rockville, Maryland, and I'm also a sophomore nursing major following the Spanish for Healthcare certificate.
Great. Did we get all of our continuing students? I don't know if I see everyone. Oh, go ahead, Fatima.
Sorry. So hi guys, my name is Fatima Vasquez Molina. I am a sophomore, also a commuter from Riverdale, Maryland. I am a double major in theology and in Hispanic studies. So yeah.
And was that all of our continuing students? We got y'all?
Yep.
Great. Go for it, Amy.
All right, so just to kind of get us warmed up, I wanted us to do a fun activity. I have learned how to do thumbs up using the reactions on the Zoom. If you know how to do that, feel free to do that. If you don't, just give a thumbs up with your own. So first off, give a thumbs up if you're going to be commuting from Washington, D.C.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Next slide, please.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
I'm falling down on the job already.
No, you're good. I think next, give a thumbs up if you're commuting from Virginia.
Ooh.
Awesome. And then I forgot to give a thumbs up. I'm commuting from DC. I think we might have skipped a slide. Give a thumbs up if you're commuting from Maryland. Awesome. Cool stuff. All right. So now we're going to kind of get into the meat of our presentation. So first off, I wanted to explain some of the support resources available in the Office of the Dean of Students, where both Dean Zeik and myself work. So we're located in Prisbilla Center 353. We are physically located here. I know that we're also going to be continuing to offer virtual support as well for those of you who may want to call in for support. Some of the things that we do include assisting students in adjusting to university life. So questions about, you know, academics, how do I manage a busy class load? Maybe there are some questions about how to, you know, resolve a conflict with a friend or some personal or social issues. We can definitely talk through those concerns or questions with students. We provide support regarding to family emergencies or medical emergencies or temporary injuries. So if someone needs to get connected to disability support services, maybe because they injured their hand and they have a paper coming up, so we can definitely help connect students with additional support. I like to call the Office of the Dean of Students as kind of like a hub. We're generalists and we can connect students to other offices and help sometimes physically walking them there, obviously socially distant, or helping connect them virtually with different offices, and answering any questions that they might have about policies, procedures, and other services on campus. And then finally, our office also processes any paperwork related to taking a permanent withdrawal from the university if someone wants to no longer continue their studies at Catholic University, if someone's taking a temporary academic leave, whether it's for medical reasons, personal reasons, family, financial, whichever the reasons, we can help those students with that paperwork and answer their questions, and term withdrawals as well. All right.
I think that's my cue. All right, everybody. So the Center for Cultural Engagement is an office located in the PRIS. You will hear a lot about the PRIS. It's really the student center. There's a lot going on. We have a lot of activities. There are a lot of offices in the PRIS. But I am located in 207, so on the second floor. And the office is open from Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Some things to know about the CCE, just the resources that we offer to make available to you as commuter students. It's a great place to come in and get some work done. We have 3 computer stations where you can print your homework. So I know there have been some funny stories that were shared yesterday in our group about students forgetting to print homework. So you can always come to the CCE and we will bail you out. We have a study area where we also have quiet hours. So, little space where you come and sometimes take a nap. It's a good place for nap. I see heads nodding there because there have been some, I know there's experiences here of finding our couches very comfortable. So we have also have a little mini fridge where you can store your food. So if you're coming to campus bringing a lunch bag or something, you can leave it in the CCE. And there's also some microwaves in the food court. So just grab your food, take it to microwave, come back to the CCE and just hang out and eat, just spend time with friends. We also have free coffee and snacks. And we host a lot of different cultural events and activities, and I'll have an opportunity to talk a little bit more about that later. But one of the things that I want to emphasize is that, whenever we have our activities in the CC, we oftentimes have food. Obviously, we're going to follow all of those safe protocols, but we are figuring out a way to make sure that, we give you guys some food as you are also learning and growing with us through all the activities that we do. I don't know if any of the students here want to say something briefly about your time in the CCE, your experience. I'll give you a minute or go ahead, Fatima.
So yeah, when I tell you, I get super excited just talking about the CCE, just because Javier made it like home for us. It became a second home for many of us, from hanging out with friends, grabbing a cup of coffee really quick, and even taking a nap in those amazing sofas, like all the way in the back. It became home at CUA for many of us. It was how many of us met. Many of the people here in the call these are like my biggest friends here. We've met at the CCE. So honestly, I'm truly grateful for the CCE, just because Javier made it into a safe environment, and also a nurturing environment for many of us as commuters. So yeah, thanks, Javier.
Thank you.
I think Emily has her hand up. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so for me personally, I don't think there was a day I didn't spend in the CCE. Like, whenever I had free time, I would go in there, have lunch in there, study in there, take a nap once in a while. But yeah, it was like my favorite place on campus. And I miss walking into Javier's office, when he had his door open and just sitting and like chatting with him. And I'm like, yeah, I procrastinated again today. He's like, oh my gosh, Emily. But yeah, yeah, the CCE, take advantage of it. It's an awesome place to make friends. Yeah, that's all.
I think we'll have more to talk later on. So
now I'm going to talk about a few academic supports for you on campus. And what we're going to talk about in terms of services are available both virtually in these first couple weeks of classes while you're all taking classes online, including those of you who are living with your families, as well as the students who are here in the residence halls. So the first thing to talk about is the Center for Academic and Career Success. You probably have all had a couple interactions by now with your academic advisors. So they are located in that office. They provide guidance and support through your 4 years here at Catholic University. So they will help you each semester when you're looking at registering for classes. They will help you with your general academic and career advising. So when it's time to think about internships, when it's time to think about writing that resume, when it's time to ultimately think about that job search when you're getting ready to graduate, they do all of that services. Also in that office, they offer tutoring services, they offer academic coaching, So they can help connect you to a variety of supports to help you be successful academically. And the easiest way to access all that, the gateway for that, is through your academic advisor, although any of us can help connect you to them. But your academic advisor is a great go-to person for you. I highly encourage you to take some time to build that relationship and get to know that person. Some support spaces on campus. So our main library on campus is called the Mullen Library. Right now, they are physically closed, just like the PRIS, the building we're in, is physically closed to students, but they still have remote services available. So if you needed a specific material or item, then you can order it and schedule time to pick it up from the library. And their website has more information about how you can still fully utilize the library resources, just minus the physical studying space. Okay, so they are going to be operational when classes start. It's just going to be remotely for the first couple weeks of the semester. The students can also share a little bit about this when we get to a more open Q&A. But the library is a study space that some students enjoy on campus. Other students find other places on campus where they like to study. So this is going to be one of those study spaces you might find useful once we return to a more regular schedule. And then there are also computer labs on campus. So it's great that Javier and the CCE can give you the ability to print there. If you find that multiple people are needing to print at the same time or more than the computer stations there, then there is a 24-hour computer lab in Leahy. And Leahy is the same building our public safety is located in. So if there were ever any concerns, if you wanted to be there late at night for some reason or do your work there, it's near the public safety office, which is also open 24/7. And printing there is free, so you don't need to worry about paying like a per page or anything to print. There are also some other computer labs across campus more closely associated with your program. So for example, if you're an engineering student, there are some computer labs in the engineering building that are available outside of class times. And again, this semester's hours remain to be determined, but those places do exist on campus. Amy, do you want to talk about some social space on campus?
Sounds great. So there are several places on campus where you can engage with others. You know, I keep kind of saying this, but, you know, in a socially distant and appropriate manner, obviously with face coverings, there's still going to be accessible the indoor spaces after the quarantine is over. Right now, once again, during that quarantine, these indoor spaces are not accessible, but some of the spaces include the Prisbilla Center. Once again, when the building reopens, Murphy's Lounge is a really popular space. There's tables and seating downstairs. There's in the lounge, there's TVs there. It's a great way to socialize and meet people. The food court is also downstairs. I believe a lot of our meals are going to be takeout, but it's good to know where that food court is located. The outside patio is accessible to students, you know, to sit down and grab some food and eat outdoors, or to chat with someone. Obviously, Javier talked about the CCE already, which is a great space to mingle, and he has a lot of great programs and events with food. I love to stop by the CCE, so I would highly encourage it. And also lockers are available so that you can safely store some items, and you can get access on the second floor near the information desk in the Prisbilla Center. Some of our outdoor spaces where students kind of like to hang out, maybe kick a soccer ball around or sit on the lawn with the blanket, include the Prisbilla lawn right outside of the Prisbilla Center. We'll have some outdoor events throughout the year that will be more in outdoor spaces. So be on the lookout for outdoor events that are open to all students, that are open to students that are first years accessing on-campus facilities. And then later we'll make determinations for other students. And then law school lawn is another lawn space where students like to kind of mingle outside. The McMahon parking lot tent is a space when it's not being used currently for food pickup, and same with the Opus parking lot tent when it's not being used for food pickup as well. And then the university lawn. So those are a few of our spaces. So recreation space, this is more important now than ever to make sure you're getting outside or having some physical activity. So the sports courts are which include basketball courts, are near the Kane Fitness Center. And that is located, I would say, also part of our student health services. So those are kind of in the same building. And then our Centennial Village, that's one of our residential spaces that are being occupied by some first years on campus right now. And there's a sports court available there for all students, all first year students. And the Kane Fitness Center is going to be opening up when the quarantine is over as well. I was just researching and talking to the director of that center, and there's going to be some virtual workout classes available. So if you're interested in those, I think that's a great option. They also have posted onto social media different ways to work out on campus, once again, when the quarantine is over, but that's a great way to get some exercise on campus. And then they also have a lot of equipment in their fitness center. Right now, they're asking students, once it reopens, to sign up so that there's not too many students in that building at once, to sign up for a space to work out in the Kane Fitness Center. And then Dufour Athletic Center is near our Opus Residence Hall, and that has outdoor space as well as indoor space that students can use. So parking and transportation. So right now, students, particularly commuter students, it's important to know that you should be in touch with parking and transportation services. Once classes start, you will need a parking pass. In-person classes start. So if you haven't already, I would encourage you to reach out to parking services, and we can give you that contact information if you have questions about how to get in touch with them. On their website, you can request a parking pass, and you can park in McMahon lot, O'Boyle parking lot, and the parking garage.
One other thing on transportation, I didn't put it on the slide, but Amy, do you just want to mention Metro?
Yes, so the Metro is easily accessible to campus. So it is located on basically right outside one of our entrances to campus, John McCormick Road, and you can take the Metro and walk into campus. So that's another way to access our campus very easily. We're very lucky to be one of the universities that has such an accessible Metro stop right virtually on our campus, right across from our campus.
And then public safety does have an officer posted down there, especially in the evenings. So when you're going home at the end of the day, there's usually someone there to add an extra feeling of safety there. I could talk about meals and dining, and then I'll give Javier the next section. So you are more than welcome to bring your own meals with you to campus. Like Javier said, he has a mini fridge where you can store things. As Amy said, there are lockers, day-use lockers in this building that are free of charge, that have combo locks on them. So if you have non-perishables or extra books or things, you can store them there. But if you want to choose to get a meal plan, you are welcome to do that as well. And that's a question you can ask some of the other students once we get through some more information about what has worked well for them. We do have the food court, and we do have what's called the student restaurant. All of those options are really going to be to go, pick up and go options for this semester. Once we return to normal operations, then the student restaurant will be a buffet style, all you can eat. And the food court has things like Chick-fil-A and Which and a salad bar and a grill. And I think there still was like a fusion, like an Asian fusion station. So a variety of food in the food court. If you're like me and you want to try to not spend all your money on your meals, you probably will want to bring some with you. And that's probably what most of these students did, but then be able to treat yourself from time to time. There is a microwave available in the food court. There's actually 2. So if you bring something that you want to heat up, it's really easy to heat it up down there. And then they usually have all kinds of plastic silverware and napkins and things that you can help yourself to. Then our third option is an actual restaurant where you order off a menu and they bring the food to you. That's called Murphy's Grill. So that's sit-down service. I don't yet know if that's going to even be open at all for this semester. I haven't heard. But again, that will return once we go to normal operations. And that also does serve beer and wine to those who are of age. So it is like a little pub on campus as well. Some other options, there is a grab and go store on the lowest level of the PRIS. It used to be called the Pod, but this semester it's being changed to be called the Market. And they have things like if you want to grab snacks, if you want to grab a drink, if you want ice cream, if you want prepackaged meals, those types of things you can get there. There is a Starbucks on the 3rd floor of the PRIS. It's currently closed. I imagine at some point that will also be opening, probably for pickup only to start with when it does open, and they probably won't have the seating open there, but we do have a Starbucks right here in the building. And then right across the street near the bookstore, there's Potbelly, Chipotle, BGR, and Pizza. There's another Starbucks, Busboys and Poets, Brooklyn Pint, which is another pub. And then there's a lot more restaurants in the neighborhood if you wanted to venture out further. So that's some basics about dining. So I'm going to hand it over to Javier to talk about our next few slides about involvement on campus.
Yeah. So there are going to be a lot of opportunities for you to be engaged on campus. The first place where you want to start is the Nest. So it's a portal that we have where all the organizations, all the different departments and offices, any event that they're putting together, they go down and on the Nest. And so if you're looking for something to do, perhaps you're waiting for the metro or something, take a quick look, because there's always events, there are always activities going on at different times. And one of the things about some of our activities on the Nest, when you look at them, as you're looking through the event, you can find out what are the perks. So some of them have free food. So that's one way to find, maybe a bite to eat before going back home or something like that. So, keep an eye out for the activities on the Nest. That's the portal where you go and check out. Also, you learn about student organizations through the Nest. So we have over 100 different clubs, from cultural clubs, faith-based clubs. There are, we have college Democrats, Republicans, whatever you're looking for, you'll probably find a club. It's another group affinity with people. And it just gives you an opportunity to meet peers, to engage on things that you're interested on. And also some of them are academic, like the language clubs, opportunities for you to practice, whether you're taking French, Spanish, Italian, Arabic, Chinese. So those clubs, apart from just offering those opportunities to practice the language, they also plan activities that teach you about the cultures from those particular cultures. So, and again, sometimes they offer free food. So keep an eye out for those. Also, if you're looking through the list of clubs and there's something that you really want to do that you're passionate about, you can always start your own club. In the time that I've been here, I've already worked with a couple students who have wanted to start different organizations. There was one that was interested in promoting the culture of the Catalan culture in Spain, Barcelona and all that. So it started their company. There was another student who wanted to promote more conversations about the U.S. territories. So started an organization about U.S. territories. Right now, I'm in conversations with another student who wants to restart a Vietnamese club. So, if you look at it again, there's something that you want to do that you feel passionate about, and you find a few of your peers who want to do the same thing, by all means, you can, and you start in the nest, you find out what the process is. And we're also in conversations, right, actually in the works of starting a commuter student organization. So the students who are here from the sophomores here, they're the ones leading that charge. And hopefully by the spring, we will have, a full-fledged commuter student organization that'll have a lot of activities just geared all towards commuters. Campus ministry is another great place that has a lot of different opportunities. We have a number of sacred spaces on campus, so chapels where you can, just spend some quiet time. There are also a lot of different liturgies that are offered, obviously, they're from the Catholic tradition, but a campus ministry also will help you connect with the community. If you're not Catholic and you want to engage in your faith and growing in your, in your connection and understanding of God, they're more than happy to help you find the community and really the support that you need to grow in that area. Campus ministry also provides opportunities to connect to service. So if you want to learn more about, or if you want to participate in, bringing food to the needy, or even if you want to do something during spring break, they have a lot of different opportunities for alternative spring breaks where you can go off to different places and do some service. So campus ministry is a great place to go. Check out their website, and you'll always find one of their bigger events was Theology on Tap, where they would bring a big speaker and then they had a nice little dinner. I know it's going to be a little different this semester, but I know campus ministry is still committed to doing all of that. So, and then we have some larger, campus activities that are part of our sort of our culture on campus. Some of those include Fall Festival. We have a Thanksgiving potluck. These are opportunities where sort of the wider campus community comes together. We get to know each other. We share a lot of, have a good time, learn about each other, and just really grow and develop that sense of community. So one of the things that I always hear from students that they like about our university is that sense of community. And I think all these different activities, all these different events and programs that we put together as a wider community help create and foster that sense of belonging, that sense of community on our campus. The Center for Cultural Engagement, again, we also have an array of programs. One of our bigger programs that we launched a couple years ago is called Take Flight. That is a program specifically designed to help and accompany students who are the first ones in their families to go to college. So if any of you on this, on this session here find yourselves realizing you are a first-gen student and want to know more, feel free to contact me. I'll send you all the information and we'll welcome you to Take Flight. There's some students here on this call who were part of the sessions yesterday because we had a pre-orientation. So we have a lot of different resources. We connect you with the people that you need to know on campus. We have a lot of different activities that we built into that program to make sure that first-gen students are able to achieve all their goals, their personal, academic, and professional goals. We also have some intercultural dialogues where we bring speakers. The civility dialogues, those are opportunities where students come and we talk about difficult topics. Sometimes we have a faculty member or staff member who guides the conversation, but for the most part, it just creates a space where students can really talk about and address some difficult situations that are going on in our community. Then, we also have socials on Fridays. There are different activities. You can check out our website or go to the Nest and find out about all our different activities that the CCE offers. And again, there's a list also of some of the more of the faith-based experiences that campus ministry offers. There's Mass at 8 p.m. on Tuesday nights. They have adoration. They have opportunities for service. So again, if you want to grow in that aspect of your life and in your faith, campus ministry is the place to go. I do know that the first year retreat is a really important piece for a lot of our freshmen because that is an opportunity to, at the beginning of the year, kind of take off and spend some quiet time with yourself and your peers. There's a lot of bonding that goes on, and I believe both Emily and Fatima are part of the team this year. So make sure that you participate because that's a great way to meet new friends, begin to develop strong relationships with your peers. And there's also Commuter Renew, which is a group that gathers. Renew is basically a small faith sharing group. And so there's a group specifically geared towards commuters. Again, just to fit your schedule, they always find a time to meet and, give you that sense of community and to grow in greater intimacy with one another and your understanding and your relationship with God. So.
Thanks, Javier. I'm going to go through the next few slides a little quickly so we can leave some time for questions. But we have a social tonight as well that we'll talk about, so we can always get some more questions tonight. So some other resources on campus, we have a counseling center that is available for all full-time students, whether you live on campus or not. So you are all eligible as commuter students. There is individual and group therapy, at least to start this semester. I know all of the individual sessions will be virtual, and you need to be in DC with some exceptions for Maryland, Virginia, and then some limited exceptions beyond that. But you can always connect with Amy or I or our office, Dean of Students, and we can help get you connected to the counseling center. Student health is also available for you, whether you are a commuter or you live on campus. So student health services, Monday through Friday with some Saturday hours. This year, we're also going to have a COVID testing site on campus that is available to all students, whether you live on campus or not. So just know that those resources exist. And then disability support services, they're also here in the Priscilla Center. If you feel that you want to request accommodations for any of your experiences on campus, that's the first place to start with. As commuters, some things to think about with home dynamics. So this is a time where you need to be patient with yourselves and be patient with your families. So college is different than high school. And that's something that the students who are participating here today can help chat with you about a little bit more. But your schedule isn't the same. You're not in classes from 8 to 3 or whatever it was every day. Your classes are going to be different times, different days, with maybe some free blocks in between. You might want to get involved in evening and weekend events. You'll probably be spending or should be spending more time studying outside of class than you did in high school. So that's going to be differences that you're going to need to adjust to and give yourself some time to make those adjustments. And we recognize that as a commuter, you still have family responsibilities. You're living at home. So you still have some roles at home that you need to help balance, whether it's helping take care of siblings, whether it's chores at home. So those are things that you need to give yourself some time and be patient with yourself as you make those adjustments. Some life skills that you might learn during this next semester and certainly the first year, your time management is going to be very different. When you're trying to think about when are you going to study, how much time does it take to commute? I know I live in Virginia, Javier lives in Virginia. My commute, when it's not a pandemic, can easily be an hour when I only live about 11 miles away. So depending upon what time of the day that you're traveling, that's something that you need to think in your time planning. Financial management is going to be different. We encourage you to set a budget. Any of us are happy to help sit down with you if you want help to do that. And then you need to decide if you want a part-time job and if you want to look for on-campus employment that may still be available this year, or you want to look off-campus. Do you want it to be near school or do you want it to be near your home? And then you have to think about your relationships. How are you going to communicate with your friends that may live on campus, with your friends that are also commuters, and with your family members? And how are you going to set aside time for those different groups of people in your life? Because your relationships are what's going to support you while you're managing all your academics. So those are some things that you'll need to think about as you get into classes this year. Some other important information, your cua.edu email is how the university will communicate with you. It's the primary communication means, so you should check that regularly. When we get to inclement weather, unfortunately we didn't have much snow last year at all. I was definitely bummed about that. But emergency closings, you can go to our website. You can call the university announcement phone line, which is on this slide, and they will have a recording if we're closed. It'll be on the local network news and radio stations, and often, but not always, the university will also send an email. And then your Cardinal card. Once you get your university identification, please just remember to carry your Cardinal card with you, because that is the identification that you are a member of the community, and that will also give you access to things like the Kane Fitness Center or the library and other places on campus. So tonight is the Commuter Social. It is virtual. The orientation schedule has the link. We will be here. I think some of our continuing students are going to join us as well. So you're welcome to drop by anytime between 5 and 7. You're welcome to bring your dinner with you if you want to eat while we're chatting. Very informal. But having given all those plugs, I want to leave about the next 10 minutes for you guys just to ask your questions. And I'm probably going to primarily let the students, our continuing students, so our OAs and our commuting students, if you guys can answer these questions. Some folks might want to type them in the chat. That might be easiest if you do it that way. And then I'll let our continuing students go ahead and answer those as they come up.
I'd just like to announce one more time for anyone who came in maybe a little late. There's a form for orientation. If you guys could just fill that out, it's just asking for your name and your ID number, and it's just to say that you guys were here for orientation, like to register you. Thank you.
So any questions you want to ask, this is a safe space. There's no judgment. Feel free to just type them in the chat. If you prefer just to ask them, you can, and we'll just try and make sure that we're not speaking over each other. Does one of the OAs know when the commuter students receive their Cardinal card? Is it when they come on campus after the quarantine?
Not sure, but if you want, I will give you my phone number. I'll put it in the chat. I'll get the answer for you. Or could you send me a private message or your email, whatever you're most comfortable with, your email or your phone number, and then I will get back to you with that information.
Let me put the contact information for parking services in the chat right now.
I also wanted to let you guys know of another parking option, which I used when I was commuting. So I drove obviously to campus, and I parked on Harewood Road Northeast. There's a 3-hour limit parking though, so I would watch out. You know, like between classes, I would go move my car. And then I would also park in front of Mullen Library, and there's a 3-hour limit there. And also in front of the Basilica, you would also have to pay, and there's a 3-hour limit there too.
So I just put the contact information for transportation and parking services in the chat for you all. And the phone number is pretty easy to remember. It's 202-552-PARK, P-A-R-K. Or you can email them at cua-transportation@cua.edu. Other questions that you might have, and feel free to privately message either Dean Zyke, myself, or the OAs, or Javier if you want us to ask your question for you and answer it out loud. I wonder if any of the returning students have questions that they remember having when they were an incoming student as well. Feel free to share those, and we can also go from there.
One thing when I, was going to CUA when I was commuting, I really wanted to take advantage of the Kane Fitness Center, but then I thought, how am I going to shower? What am I going to do like after the workout if I have to stay on campus? But I had a friend who lived in a dorm where her bathroom, it was in her dorm. So she was kind enough after we worked out. She was like, yeah, you could just bring your stuff and then you could shower in my dorm. So I did that a few times. So if you guys maybe, I'm not sure especially with COVID, the safety precautions that would have to take place there. But yeah, if you guys maybe that would be a possibility, but just in case that isn't, I recommend that those who are driving, or if you are taking the metro, you should definitely carry like spare clothes, and you can also put it in the locker in the Priz if you guys plan to take advantage of like the Kane Fitness Center or any of that. Yeah, so just carry some extra clothes. Yeah.
Thanks, Emily.
I just wanted to add something. I know like this can, well, like for me personally, when I first came in as a commuter, I was really, really nervous. I mean, I'm still a very shy person. So I was like, how am I going to make friends? How am I going to talk to people? And as a commuter, it can be really easy to like isolate yourself because you don't have to make those friendships because you're not living with people. You're not like really staying on campus if you don't really have to. You don't have to stay there. So I just suggest that you guys really try to put yourself out there. I know some people are not like that, and I'm one of those people, but I would take advantage of all the resources you have and all the clubs because it's a great way to get involved, to grow, and to learn about a lot of other people, to learn about yourself. And there's a lot of skills and opportunities that the university provides for each person. So I would definitely take advantage of that. And if you're scared, you can like always reach out to me or your OA and ask them for advice or what they think. We're your peers, so we're here to guide you in anything that you guys need.
And kind of going along that, it's really, at least for me, it's really it's beneficial if you make friends who do live on campus because they're really helpful. If you just need to kill time, you could stay at their dorm, or even like with food too, like they could let you use their card if they want to get rid of swipes or something. And something else specifically, if you're commuting on Metro, the commute on Metro was really helpful for me because I used it for reading, and also like a lot of times Metro's crazy, like they just have random signal tracking or the Metro just stops for like no reason. Always inform your professor, like if you're going to be running late, because every professor has their own rules about coming in late, just so they know, like, yeah, it's out of my control, like Metro's being difficult.
That's a really good tip. Thanks so much, Brian.
Something I just remembered in terms of, for those of you who are going to be commuting, especially if you're going to be taking public transportation, I know some of you might be concerned about, safety. So I know some students yesterday were recommending that you really try to take the Metro during off-peak hours, so don't get on the Metro during peak hours. So just kind of visit the schedule, try to figure out a routine for you. Also, if you guys, carry a little bottle of hand sanitizer with you, and if you ever run out, come over to the CCE. We've got some little tubs there. We'll refill you and send you on your way so that you can have things like that. All right.
And definitely don't be, afraid. I know, like, for me personally, my parents didn't want me to be on campus, like, all day. But I tried to emphasize to them, like, I want to be able to make friends. I want to be able to go to events. So I told them, like, please give me more time to be on campus. And that really helped a lot because I made a lot of awesome friends, especially in the CCE. Yeah, and yeah, also about the Metro, I did drive, but when I had my midterms or exams and I needed more time to study in the morning, I would take the Metro to study. So I recommend that if you guys can do that.
Another great tip.
Also, like, I know many of you guys still have to balance like a household and a social life outside of college, and that is completely understandable. I still have to make dinner every once in a while, so I have to balance that as well. And I have chores. I have to clean bathrooms. I have to clean the kitchen every once in a while, and I have to do laundry and so on and so on. So I realized that I needed just one day in the whole entire week to just focus on myself and do that for yourself. Really focus on yourself. So I realized there is always one day out of the whole entire week where I don't have many classes. Maybe I only have one class or two classes. So I have a lot of downtime during that day. So I would put in like maybe going into the writing center, or I would make an appointment with my CACS advisor, or maybe I want to grab coffee with a friend of mine, or maybe I wanted to go out with dinner with some of my friends or things like that. So really use that day to hone in yourself, hone in with your academics, your self-love, your self-care, because you still do matter. You're the one that's putting in all of the hard work, both on campus, academically, and also at home. So just honing into yourself on that one specific day. That is my biggest point to give to you guys, my biggest tip. I knew that was really helpful for me. And now with quarantine going on and not being able to go onto campus, I know I have to decide on what day to give myself that day, that time. So yeah, that's my tip for you guys.
Sorry, I just really wanted to piggyback off that. That was like really good, because sometimes like as a first year you come into college and you kind of don't know what to expect, especially since everything is online. It's really hard to manage your time. And when we did it in the spring, I was working all day and I didn't give any time for myself. So I was really, really stressed. And I just feel like you have to, even if it's like 20 minutes, like close your eyes or do something that you enjoy, like reading a book or watching a movie, but something that's for yourself. Because if not, it'll like really take a toll on you. So I do think mental health is really important, especially right now since you guys are going to be home.
Great. Thank you all so much. I think we're at a good place to wrap up so that you have enough time to go to your next session. Great.
Yeah, I think that's a great plan. So if you can join us at any time tonight, even if you only can drop by for 10 minutes, we'd love to have you. Amy, Javier, and I will be here. I think some of the other folks might be able to join us as well in case you have questions. We we're just there just to fill the space, but we want you to be able to ask your questions and to chat with those who have experience being commuter students here at Catholic U. But we're so excited that you're part of our community. We want you to know that you are valued members of our community, and you can reach out to any of us at any time. So we will see you after President Garvey's welcome. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah. Guys.
See you later.
Um,
And Dean Love, will you send that to the CUA orientation